Hey, I'm going to tell you a memory I have of Kirk. When Kirk and I were dating back in high school, our dates consisted of going to a movie, a drive-in movie always, or we'd go to school dances and sometimes bowling or tennis, but quite often our dating was golfing. Kirk had taught me how to golf. Some of the other things we did was water skiing. We did that once or twice, and or we just hang out at each other's houses. But basically, Kirk taught me how to golf. And one time when we were golfing at a three par, because that was what was easiest for me, I was doing very well. I was really hitting that ball and making holes. And Kirk was not doing very well. I think he was trying a little too hard to impress me, and so what happened was he ended up not doing well, and he got a little frustrated. Maybe a lot frustrated because he got so frustrated that he wasn't doing well that he threw his club. The club went farther than some of his golf balls had gone. And at that point, I made a quip to him and I said something like, "It's not how hard you hit the ball, my boy, but how far you throw your club." Well, that little quip became an inside joke between the two of us ever since. And we have laughed about it many, many times since that time 50 years ago when that happened. Now, as a disclaimer, I have to tell you that Kirk is a much better golfer than I am. And he was then, and he is now, certainly. And Kirk's always been a good athlete, a strong man, and has never-ending energy, even now that he's 70. And even though we argue sometimes, I love him very much. He is my rock, he is the one I can depend on, and he is my best friend. And I love that 70-year-old man. Can't believe I'm saying this. I love him very much. Happy birthday, Kirk.
Hi, brother. Hey, happy birthday. Great stuff. We're excited for you. 70 isn't anything to shake a stick at. I just wanted to give you some of those memories that I'm thinking, and I've thought of a lot. Remember how, we got to teach together for 4 years. What a fabulous, fabulous opportunity that was. I loved it. You were always there for me when I needed you, always. And we'd go down to the office and sing as loud as we could just to bug Connie. Yeah, and I don't think you ever learned how to do the Macarena the right way. But in high school, they called you Dennison and me Baby Dennison, and boy, we had some great times there. Uh, Remember that sacrament? Well, we were at the church, we were teenagers, and you snuck up behind me and pinched my backside. And I turned around and wailed a great big slap across your cheek, and you had to pass the sacrament with that great big red handprint across your face. And we had some great times. And tap dancing on the board at the house in the kitchen. Drive people crazy. I think we'd get it out just in practice, just to bug the other guys. So, good things. Sleeping out in the backyard, swimming at the Liberty Park pool. Uh, we had some great times. Brother, you are the best, and you have always been a great example to me. You are a great teacher. You have done some fabulous, fabulous things. But you're the best brother, and you've always been one of my heroes, and I love you so very much. Happy birthday.
Hey Kirk, happy birthday. You know, everybody has favorite numbers, like my daughter's favorite number's 8 for when she was baptized. You know, I love the number 14 because it represents the Messiah. But there's another number that's my favorite number, and it is the number 3. I remember as a young man that a brother that I looked up to and admired always wore number 3. And that became my favorite number because of you, Kirk. Anyway, I love you. Happy birthday. God bless.
Hi, Kirk. Happy birthday. Did I scare you? Hey, bro. I know people are going to see this. I'm sitting in a dark room so that you don't see how beautiful I look and how ugly you're getting at age 70. Well, you're not ugly. You're just aged, you know? So, but we won't dwell on that. Let's dwell on the funny things in your life. The only thing I can remember a lot of funny things, but I don't have time to tell them all. But I will tell one thing. Because of your hips that weren't quite developed when you were born, because you had to be in a cast for a long time, I know that as you grew older and got to be, 16, 17, 18, you were the only one of the brothers that could put your whole foot in your mouth and suck your big toe. That was quite a feat. The problem is we tried to get you to bathe before you did that, but you wouldn't do it. So hopefully Lana's had a great impact on your hygiene to clean you up a bit. One other memory that I have is you're the only brother I know that would climb a 10-foot cliff thinking that there's a golf ball up there in the fountain, and you took a chance, and guess what? There was a golf ball up there, and you came down and almost killed yourself. But for $1 golf ball, oh yeah, if you're selling those for 10 cents, then it was only a 10-cent effort. The last thing I'll say is that shirt you wore at St. George when we golfed, the lava 9 holes. I can't even remember the course. We did Sunbrook, I think it is, and it's the lava course. And you saw a ball down in the bottom of the gully, but there were lava rocks everywhere. You had on a beautiful shirt. You got the golf ball. Yep, 10 cents, maybe $1 golf ball. However, your shirt, $20 shirt, got torn to pieces by the lava rock. Sometimes your decision making isn't so good. You probably ought to lean on your brothers a little bit, or your wife, or even your family, or your extended family. Happy birthday, my friend and my brother. You've been wonderful to know, to grow up with, and to tease. You got a great family now. I'm proud to be your brother. Love you. Bye-bye.
Hello, Kirk, and happy 70th birthday. Hope you're feeling well. You don't look a day over 69. Jay gave me a message to see if I could find something, a little funny story about you. So I something there. Kirk is, there's one thing, Kirk had a white t-shirt that said Cannon 7th Ward or Cannon 7th Stake softball on it. I remember that shirt. I believe you wore that more than once. But Kirk, one thing I know is he's an optimist, and I want him to know how much I appreciate him and what he's done for Patty and I, and Chris and Kimmy through the years. Kirk's always been there to help in any way that he can. So I want him to know that. One funny story that he's told me before is one time he was repairing his car, and he had the radiator out, and he went into the house for a few minutes, and one of his daughters came out, who will remain nameless, got in the car and drove off. And, and when she came back, I don't think Kirk was too mad at her, but like I say, he's an optimist, and he's very forgiving, and I think he understood the situation, but it was pretty funny. But anyway, Kirk, happy 70th, and we'll be talking to you later. Bye-bye.
So Kirk is turning 70 years old, and we're supposed to think of something funny, some memory of Kirk. Well, everything about Kirk is funny, so there's probably a lot of memories out there. Some of the memories that my kids and I kind of came up with were way back when, Kirk jumping on the trampoline, and the trampoline pretty much nearly almost touched the ground. That was a long time ago. And then kids remembered how Kirk enjoyed hardening his stomach and encouraging the kids to punch him in the stomach, see if they were strong enough to get him down or not. Of course, they never were. And then another funny memory that all of us had was the sighting of Kirk, the Sasquatch, going through the forest. That was the classic. That will always be a classic. One just recent thing that came to mind was we were sightseeing here in Washington, caravanning, and leaving our destination point. Kirk decided that instead of turning right, since we turned left to get into the park, that he would turn left to get out of the park. So he went home back to my house on an entirely different route than the route that we came in on. But luckily it was just one big giant circle, and so he still made it back to the Tri-Cities. Anyway, lots of funny memories with Kirk. But what I would really like to point out with this event of his 70th birthday, after him being my sister-in-law for 50 somewhat odd, or my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law for 50 somewhat odd years. What I really appreciate a lot about Kirk is, over the years, what a great son-in-law he was to my mother. There were a lot of funny moments with that too, and Mom would get a kick out of him, and he would add some humor to her life and to my parents' life. But he was a great son-in-law, and I just want to say thanks for that. And with that, happy birthday, Kirk, 70 years old. Wow.